Hey guys, today I have a story for you called The Girl Who Never Made Mistakes. It has a really good lesson to it, and it's one of my favorites, so I think you will like it too. It is written by Mark Pett and Gary Rubenstein, and the illustrator is Mark Pett. The Girl Who Never Made Mistakes. I'm going to kind of read it and then show you the picture because of the way I'm sitting. I can't do this and read at the same time. For Beatrice Bottomwell, Friday began like any other day. She matched her socks, and of course, she put her shoes on their proper feet. She remembered to feed her hamster, Humbert, his favorite food, broccoli. And when she made a sandwich for her brother Carl's lunch, she used exactly the same amount of peanut butter and jelly. When she stepped outside to greet her fans, she didn't forget to say good morning and thank you. They asked if she made her bed. She had. They asked if she forgot to do her math homework. Nope. What about tonight's talent show? They asked. I'm ready, said Beatrice with a smile. After all, her juggling act had won 3 years in a row. Most people in town didn't even know Beatrice's name. They just called her the girl who never made mistakes because, for as long as anyone could remember, she never did. Unlike Beatrice, her brother Carl made lots of mistakes. He ate his crayons and drew with green beans. He danced with his hands and played the piano with his feet. Carl loved to make mistakes. At school, Beatrice was on a cooking team with her two best friends, Millie and Sarah. To make their giant rhubarb muffins, they needed 4 eggs. Beatrice went to the refrigerator and carefully chose the biggest, eggiest egg she could find. But on the way back, her legs slipped out underneath her. The eggs went flying. Beatrice was about to make her first mistake. But she didn't. That was close, thought Beatrice. For the rest of the school day, Beatrice could not stop thinking about her almost mistake. On her way home from school, Beatrice watched Millie and Sarah ice skating in the park. Come join us, said Millie. It's fun, said Sarah. Beatrice watched them slip and slide on the frozen pond. Millie and Sarah laughed as they wobbled on the ice. No thanks, said Beatrice. At supper, Beatrice barely touched her food. Is everything all right, kiddo? Her dad asked. I'm worried I'll mess up tonight, said Beatrice, and everyone will be watching. Worry? You don't make mistakes, he said with a smile. Beatrice tried to smile too. I know if someone said that to me, I might then become more nervous because I'm like, okay, well now nobody thinks I make mistakes and now I better not make one. So I feel like that's how she's feeling too. After supper, Beatrice got ready for the talent show. First, she woke Humbert up from his nap. Next, she got a salt shaker from the kitchen table. Finally, she filled a balloon with water. The school's auditorium was packed. Beatrice felt her stomach jumping around inside her. Beatrice waited for her juggling music to begin. That's her, someone yelled. That's the girl who never makes mistakes. Oh, we know she'll be perfect, said a man. When the music started, she tossed Humbert into the air. Next, she added the salt shaker. And finally, the balloon. Beatrice didn't miss a beat. The crowd clapped with delight. But Beatrice noticed something odd about the salt shaker. The specks falling out of it were not white. What could that be if it's not white, but it's coming out of a shaker? Achoo! Humbert was so surprised by his sneeze that he grabbed the water balloon with his claws. Oh, what would happen next? Humbert, pieces of water balloon, and the pepper, so it was pepper, rained down on Beatrice. For the first time in as long as anyone could remember, Beatrice made a mistake. And it was a big one. The music stopped. Beatrice didn't know what to do. Cry? Run off the stage? The crowd was stunned. They couldn't believe that the girl who never made mistakes made a mistake. Beatrice looked at Humbert. He looked back at her. His hamster fur was soaked and speckled with bits of balloon. Beatrice let out a giggle. The giggle grew into a chuckle, and the chuckle became a laugh. The people in the crowd looked at each other and then back at Beatrice. They began to giggle, then chuckle, and finally roar with laughter. Beatrice and the audience laughed until they couldn't remember why they were laughing. That night, Beatrice slept better than she ever had. I wonder why. Do you think maybe because she finally was able to let loose and make a mistake? In the morning, no fans greeted Beatrice. When she got dressed, for no reason at all, she put on a polka dot sock on one foot and a plaid sock on the other. Beatrice and Carl made sandwiches. This time, they put peanut butter and jelly on the outside. They called it inside and out PB&J. It was messy and delicious. Later, Beatrice found Millie and Sarah skating in the park. Or joined them, sorry. They fell a lot and laughed. Now, people no longer call her the girl who never made mistakes. They just call her Beatrice. Okay, I have a couple little questions that I can ask now, and you can think about them, tell me at school, whatever you want to do, or comment them. So one of the things is, do you think Beatrice has more fun being perfect or making mistakes? Another one is, what did you learn from this story? I know for me, I learned that maybe to not take things too seriously. When you mess up, you can try to laugh at it. And my other question for you is, do you feel like you can look at some of your mistakes differently now? So instead of getting down on yourself or getting upset and frustrated, can you try to be more like Beatrice? So think about that, and I will bring this back to school. I hope that you liked it. I'll show you Percy. I'm sure you were waiting. Percy, say hey. Bye.